Hey everyone, this is Terrence, Executive Director of Empowered Media, and today I want to do a tutorial on how to use LLMs for small business marketing. So we're getting ready to dive on in, and all right. So I wanted to talk about this because, like, if you're running a small business in Memphis, or whether you're just getting started or if you've been at it for some years, and you're not already using AI tools yet, you've already a step behind. So today I'm going to break down how to use an LLM, which is a large language model, to market your business. Uh, so whether it's social media posts, emails, flyers, captions, newsletters, or anything that would make your business grow, you're going to need it. And if you don't have the ability to get a full-time assistant, uh, this would be perfect for you. And so I'm going to break it down, and it's not going to be any tech lingo or any coded language or any type of corporate jumbo, or we're just going to jump straight into it. So if you're not comfortable with this stuff, or if you're just looking to get better in honing your skills, I think this tutorial will be perfect for you. All right, so what's an LLM? We'll start there. Basically, an LLM is a fancy way of saying that it's a tool that's trained to understand the way that we as humans talk and respond to each other. So you probably have heard of plenty of them, like Claude or ChatGPT. I personally call ChatGPT Lil Chat, but that's just me. Anyway, ChatGPT is an LLM, and in its case, you give it a prompt and it spits out a response. But it ain't like answering questions through Google. It's going to give you more detail and more access to carry on the conversation until you get the responses that you want. So, like, let's say if you run a food truck service or a T-shirt brand, or a tutoring service, and you needed to say, write me 3 social media posts promoting my new special or activity, and it'll write those for you. So today we're going to do some examples on how you can get better at using this tool to increase your business. All right, let's get started by setting this chat up. So first, you want to open up ChatGPT. You want to go to chatgpt.com, and if you don't have an account, you can just use your email to log in, and it'll get you automatically the free version of ChatGPT. But if you have the ability to upgrade to one of the paid accounts, that would be great, because there's just so many more features that you'll have available for you. It'll be faster. The AI is a lot smarter, but if not, don't worry about it. The free one it's really, really good, and it'll definitely get everything taken care of for what your needs are. So once you get in, you can see right here is going to be your prompt box. That's where you're going to type your prompts or ask questions, or basically try to figure out whatever it is that you want to get done. So now you don't want to just get on here and just start typing, because you want to get better results. So what we're going to work on now is how to write a strong prompt, and we're going to be using the Risen method. So the Risen method is, as you can see right here, Risen is spelled RISEN, and each one of those letters has a meaning to them. So it's an acronym, and we're going to start with R, which R is for role. Basically, you want to define the character or who you want your chat to be. Um, so if you don't want like a no lame or basic results, you got to know exactly how to tell the chat to give you the results that you want. So once you give it the role, you can give it any kind of role that you're looking to have. So it can be, you might want it to be a Memphis content creator, a brand strategist, a church secretary. It doesn't matter. You just make sure that you tell it who you want it to be. And then you want to give it instructions. So you want to make sure that you're being clear about what you want it to do. You don't have to write a paragraph. You just need to say what you need. So if you needed to write captions, if you needed to draft an email, if you needed to make a flyer, or help you build out a report, that's where you give it the instructions to do with it. So next, you want to go for the steps that you want to basically outline for the chat so that so that it can structure the process that needs to be done. So you want to break it down with a certain format. So say if you're trying to create a flyer and you want to start with a hook, and then you want to describe the deal, and then you want to end with a call to action. So that keeps it clean and chat will stay focused. Next, you want to go with, the end goal. You want to tell it something to clarify what the final results or final output should accomplish. So, are you trying to get it to build hype for your business? Are you trying to get more bookings? Are you trying to make it sound more relatable? Those things really help the tone match to make sure that the results that you get stay on target. And then finally, you want to go with narrowing, which, as it says, it says it sets limits or constraints to keep responses focused and on brand. So, for example, let's say you posting somewhere that has a character limit. So you can make sure that you put in there in the narrowing section, keep it under 150 characters, or, if you wanted to use local dialect, you can make sure it's put in that section. So instead of a weak prompt like, or a basic simple prompt like a caption for my bakery, where you can see these are okay, but they're pretty generic. So what we want to do is, I've already done one for, I've already set one up for a social media account. So as you can see, you see the role. It says you're a Memphis native social media copywriter with over 10 years of experience. You want to write 5 Instagram captions to promote a fall menu for a Black-owned bakery in South Memphis. The steps is you want to highlight a fall-themed bakery item. You want to use one slang term from this list or phrase from this list. So I'm going to change that and say, or phrase from this list, per caption. So you see, main junk, that junk busting on God, crash out lane. Listen, I know this might sound goofy, but just stick with it. I'm just trying to go through the lesson. All of this got purpose. You'll see how it works out. So you also want to add a playful and relatable tone, like something you're hearing in a group chat. And then you want to keep it short and mobile friendly. So you want your end goal. The end goal of this prompt is to create captions that stick with real Memphis culture. They should be warm, funny, and a little slick while building authentic engagement from locals. These posts should feel realer than a flyer and more friendly than an ad, with a focus on local Memphis audience. And then we're going to narrow it by saying that the max captions or the max characters per caption is 150. Only use one slang term per post. Don't explain or define the slang. Just assume that the audience gets it and avoid corporate tone or forced positivity. So we're going to highlight all that, copy it, and now we're going to go over to chat and we're going to paste it and we're going to get it going. All right, so now you can see that it's a little bit more narrowed down. First one says sweet potato pie. Pull up, man. This sweet potato pie hotter than your auntie kitchen on Thanksgiving. So I know they're a little corny, but just go with the lesson, okay? Pecan bread pudding. Trying to act civilized, but the pecan bread pudding got me about to crash out for real. Apple turnovers so flaky that you're busting harder than a Bluff City baseline. So obviously you don't have to go with these. This is just showing you how you can get your results more on track, the way that you to reflect more of your voice, and you can start narrowing it down. So next we're gonna go through an email. So I already have this set up. So it says the role is you are a warm, approachable local business owner in Memphis who cares about your customers and wants to keep them engaged without sounding robotic or pushy. So you want to write a customer appreciation email thanking a first-time buyer for their recent purchase. Mention what they bought, welcome them to the business, and invite them to stay connected. You want to open with a personal, friendly greeting. You want to thank them sincerely for their first purchase, and you want to mention the item that they bought in a natural way. Invite them to come back, follow on social medias, or stay connected. And then you want to end with a sign off that feels personal. So the end goal is to build connection and trust. And this email should feel like it came from a real person, not a mass email list. You want them to feel appreciated and more likely to return or tell someone else. And then you want to keep it under 150 words. Use plain conversational English, and avoid hard sales or discount pushing. And then finally, make it sound like something you're actually saying yourself. So copy and we're going to paste it over in chat. So, and here's the result. You got the subject, thank you. You're going to add the customer's first name. And hi, customer's first name. I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for stopping by and grabbing that sweet potato pie with us. It means a lot that you chose to support our little bakery here in South Memphis. Welcome to the family. We love serving good folks like you. We'd love to stay connected, so feel free to follow along on Instagram or just swing back through whenever that sweet tooth hits again. Appreciate you. And your first name. So, obviously in this situation, setting up the risen method is actually longer than the email. And that's okay, because you have some people that, when it comes to writing an email or writing a letter or, writing content, they wind up spending 20, 30 minutes on something because they want to get it absolutely perfect and nail it. And where this may seem longer, it's easier to write out than if you have, if you're kind of the perfectionist and want to make sure that these things are as perfect as possible. And so now you're spending way too much time on this instead of getting back to doing the tasks that you have at hand. So at the end of the day, you still want this to reflect what you actually want to say. So you still need to read over these. And, it's just a really good starting point. You don't want to copy and paste it straight on through. You want it to reflect you at the end of it all. And so finally, we're going to go over the risen method for a flyer. So it says, you are a marketing copywriter who specializes in helping small local businesses write bold, clear, and effective flyers or ad copy that gets people attention without sounding corporate. Write engaging, eye-catching flyer copy for a Memphis Bakery's fall special. Buy two, get one free on all pies during September. So you want to write a strong, short headline. You want to write a sub-headline that explains the offer clearly. You want to include short body copy that gives context or urgency. You want to add a strong call to action. And then you want to make sure the tone is warm, local, and rooted in Memphis energy, not salesy or generic. So the end goal is it should be usable directly in Canva for a printed or digital flyer. It needs to grab attention fast, explain the offer clearly, and make folks want to come in or share it with someone else. So the narrowing, you want to keep total word count under 60. You want to use plain, clear language, basically an 8th grade reading level. You want to avoid overly promotional buzzwords. You want to speak directly to customers like their neighbors. And you want to assume audience is Memphis-based and familiar with local slang and community feel. So we're going to highlight that, copy it, go over to chat and paste it, and we'll see what we get. So we got pies on pies, Memphis. Buy two, get one free all September. Fall is here and the oven stay hot. Sweet potato, pecan, apple, whatever you crave, come get it while the deal lasts. Pull up to the shop or hit us online today. So you would just take these and go over to Canva and put them in the respective places. And there you go. You're done. You're not trying to figure out, you're not spending all day trying to get it right. You got it. You got a really good, even great content for your flyer, and you can get on to doing other things. So those are just some of the things that you can do using the Risen method and using an LLM like ChatGPT or Claude to help your business out. Especially, like I said earlier, if you don't have the resources to actually go out and hire someone to do these things. So let me be clear though. Don't just copy and paste this stuff. What the AI gives you is not going to always be perfect, and you don't want to come off as phony or not relatable. So especially if you're a Black-owned business, you don't want to come off writing stuff that sounds like a white lawyer wrote it. So read your stuff out loud and then ask yourself, would I actually say this? If it feels stiff, lame, or fake, just go back and edit it. Add your own flavor to it. At the end of the day, the AI is your helper. It's not your voice. So you're still the author. You're still the brand. You're still the energy of your business. So, you just got to make sure that you're being authentic or as authentic as possible, because if you're doing this, you're trying to do these things because you don't necessarily feel that you're an expert at it, or that you don't have a lot of time to jump straight into it, or you don't have the resources for it. So use it wisely and figure out the best way to make sure that it's still reflecting you and your ideals, and the messages that you want to represent you or your business. So your audience is going to figure it out real quick if it's not reflecting you. So LLMs like little chat, at the end of the day, or I keep saying at the end of the day, but they don't take your creativity away. They just give you space to use it. So just make sure that you're staying in front of your people, you're putting out content, and that you still have time to run your business. And that's what it's about. Uh, you want to make sure that you can get all the pieces that you need to run your business the way that you can compete with people with way more resources. So um, just make sure uh, that you're practicing this stuff. Jump in, jump out, jump in, mess it up. Explore it. Continue to build those skills up. Exercise those brain muscles when it comes to this, and you'll get better and better at this stuff, and before you know it. So if you like this video and you want to learn more, or if you have specific questions about anything related to this or tech, or how to implement new tech into your business, comment below or message me, and I'll try to make sure that I can do what I can to help you out. So, and last thing, don't wait on anybody to give you permission to win. You got tools now, you got access. You just need to do it. So, like I said a minute ago, try it out, mess it up, get a feel for it, and watch how your confidence will grow. So, all right, that does it for this tutorial on using LLMs for small business marketing. So until next time, see you then.